Hi there, this is Benjamin Aceman for 80 Tots Plus, and today we will learn how to make the jumper punch effect. Yeah. So what's up guys, this is Benjamin Aceman, and today, welcome to the first jumper punch tutorial ever. Now, what we're going to do now is try to recreate the jumper effect and the jumper punch from the movie Jumper released in 2008. And I'm going to show you this clip of the movie, and what we're going to do is just show you the clip so we can recreate it and have an idea what you're going to do, besides seeing the actual preview of the video. So let's watch this. Okay, so awesome. What we can see here is actually he disappearing and appearing at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now, what we're going to do now is try to recreate that in After Effects. Now let's grab our elements and our experience in After Effects to actually recreate this effect. So first, let's start by importing our footage. I have our footage here. You have to film 2 times, 2 clips. What you need is a camera, a tripod, a green screen, and some abilities to jump. Booyah! For the win. Now, what we're going to do now is film our first footage, which is the jumps. Or first, you want to film your attacks footage, which is the first one, right here, in which you position yourself in time. As you can see here, I run into there, I position myself there, and I start preparing for the jump. Then I jump, and once more, I appear here by making a jumper punch right there. So now what we're going to do in the second clip, we're going to grab a green screen and film yourself. You can get a green screen by buying a green blanket from whatever store, Walmart or something, or whatever. So we can go ahead and do that. Jump 4 times or 3 times, whatever times you want to actually appear in the video. And in my case, I jumped 4 times. What I'm going to do now is separate those into 4 clips. So let's drag our jumps footage into a new comp by dragging it to the new comp right here, thingy. And let's go ahead and separate this stuff. So first you want to chroma key this. Now apply the key light effect. Now that you have applied the key light effect, you're going to go ahead and key this stuff. Now you keyed everything. As you can see, the plants have been keyed too because you're green. But what we're going to use only is this part of the video, so we can actually see the transparent part and not the other part of the video, because our only green screen part is right here, and then the only part where we appear is right here too. So let's go ahead and watch ourselves do that. First, I jump into the green screen. I make my first jump, and let's leave 4 frames of the jump between every and each one of our separations. So go ahead and start with this one, 1, and alt left bracket to actually close that, and then go ahead and function down to actually pass through frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we have our 4 frames. Alt bracket 2 again. And maybe if you want to go ahead and just leave another frame, or maybe you want to leave it like that, just leave it like that. And alt close bracket. Now what we're going to do is duplicate this, set this again, and duplicate it 2 more times. And then we have space for 2 more clips. Now what we're going to do is advance in time for our next jumps. Or maybe we can go ahead and do the key light for the first one. So yeah, let's do the key light for the first one. Now let's go ahead and apply the key light. Now what we're going to do is actually make this green screen better. Now let's go ahead and clip the blacks. Set it to screen matte right here. And then go to screen matte in this section here and clip the blacks. As you can see, it's clipping the blacks a little bit. Set it to 20 or something. And then clip this to 80 of the whites. Now we have our full body right there. Now as you can see, we don't have any grain or something or spill. Now what we're going to do is close this, set it to final result again, and then mask this out. Mask this, maybe up to here. Maybe mask it out. And right there we have our mask. Now let's set the transparent to see what work we have done. And there it is. There's our full resolution thingy right there in our transparent background with the key light effect applied. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit B to actually go ahead and do that and go to the pointer again and close key light. We just want to close it like this, and then duplicate the layer 4 times. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, 3 times. So let's go ahead and do that again for the other layers. Let's expand this for more time and search for the point in which you jump the second time. In my case, this is the second time. Now let's grab 4 frames as I said. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or maybe let's do it again. Close. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now let's close that. Let's do the third layer again. Find the point in time when you jump. Once again, we have our jump here. Close. 1, 2, 3, 4. And there we have it. And our fourth jump, which is right here. Grab our layer. Search for it. Maybe this one is not the best one because it's cutting right here by the mask. Let's go ahead and search for another one. Maybe let's go ahead and grab this one over here. Let's cut it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and alt bracket right. So let's go ahead and zoom this in. So we can actually go ahead and get this close to each other. So let's put this close. There. Set this clips right here. So they're next to each other. And the final clip right here. Right there. Now we have our 4 clips of us jumping right here. Now let's go ahead and hit B. And then go to the first clip and hit B. Go to the final clip and hit N. And then you can compress your work area right there. And then hit right click, trim the comp work area. And there we have our 4 clips separated. Now let's name this jump 1, jump 2, jump 3, and jump 4. So let's go ahead and preview this. You can see we have our 4 jumps right there and our 4 frames. Booyah! Right there. So let's go ahead and name this comp the clips comp and set it to comps right here in your folder comps. And in that case, that's my folder, so let's go ahead and leave it like that. Now let's go ahead and place this in time and space. So let's go ahead and import our attacks footage into a new comp. And now we have our simple attacks footage right here. Well, what I did here is I placed my point in time. I set myself right there and went ahead and jumped like crazy. Sorry. I went ahead and jumped, and that's it. So let's go ahead and prepare for the jump right there. Hit B, and the final jumper punch is right here. And where we finish jumping is right, maybe right here, right there. Now hit N. And now And do the same for the trim comp to work area. Right click, trim comp to work area. Do that. Now let's go ahead and break this apart. So what we're going to do is duplicate this attacks layer 4 times, or 3 times, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Maybe if you just want to go ahead and create and make it more simple, just do it 2 times. So let's go ahead and name this first one BG for background, or maybe just call it background. And then go ahead and name the second one appear, or maybe disappear. And then the third one appear / punch. So yeah, about that, let's go ahead and do that again. Let's first grab our background from our thingy right here. Let's put it, set it back. Let's grab another one and erase this background, delete this, and set this to background. If you just don't have a background plate while we set it. So background, and then go ahead and freeze. And if you just solo this, you can see it's frozen in time. So let's go ahead and right click, time, freeze frame. Now we have a background plate, it's full of freeze frame. Now let's go ahead and make disappear layer. What we have here is we want to disappear in a certain point in time in which we jump. And that is, we jump and leave a little bit of frames so we can actually disappear right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And maybe right there. And let's hit B. I'm sorry, let's hit alt right bracket for the disappear layer. Now we can see as we disappear right here, if we just shut the eye off, we disappear. But we can see it's a little bit different from the actual footage in my case. It's a little bit different. The shadow is changing, the position of the camera is changing, and everything. So let's go ahead and solo this. Since we can only go ahead and see this part of the footage, we're only using this part, this actual area of the video. We can go ahead and mask this out so we can only see ourselves and not the other part of the video in terms of watching the thingy. So let's go ahead and just solo this and make a mask for the part where you want to appear. Then go ahead and unsolo that, and you can see there's a little bit of position changing. And you can see we have already fixed it by actually dragging the arrow right here one time right there. And let's go ahead and solo this again. Now what we want to do is hit the F key by pressing on the disappear layer and set it to about 70 feather. Yeah, that's about it. Or maybe 50. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and unsolo this so we can see how it blends in. And as we can see, we have our footage blended in. You can see that nothing is changing, just the shadow as we want it. Now, yeah, that's about it. Now we're gonna make our disappear thingy. Now what we're gonna do is search for disappear. Now let's shut the eye in. Disappear one right here. I want to start appearing about right here. So let's select layer, hit alt, left bracket, right there, and drag this in to the actual part of the video. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. Look, we disappear right here, and as long as we disappear and appear, that's okay. So let's go ahead and just watch this. And we have our jumper punch there. So let's go ahead and watch this again. And that's it. So let's go ahead and make our effect. The jumper effect consists of 3 parts. The mat for you to disappear, the displacement, and the smoke. So let's first make the mat. Let's create a new composition. Call it mat. Make it 20 seconds long or whatever your video length is. In this case, more than 10 seconds, so I'll call it 20. And let's go ahead and make our mat. So first what you want to do is create a new layer, whatever color you want. And select fractal noise from the effects right here. and drag it in. What you want to do is set the contrast. Let me see right here in a matte. Maybe matte's right here. We have the contrast set to 587 and minus 1063. So let's go ahead and do that again. Let's create our matte. And here it comes. So yeah, matte for the win. Let's click and drag the attach to layer. Name this main comp. And set it to comps. And now let's go ahead and do this. What we're going to do is set it to 587 and minus 1063. So now we have a full black layer. What we want to do is just go ahead and animate this so it turns to white. So let's call this matte or white solid matte. And let's go ahead and see our transparency. We don't have transparency, that's good. We want the black and white. So let's go ahead and animate the evolution first. You won't see anything, but let's animate the brightness right there and set it to maybe stopwatch, and then go ahead and increase 1 second, go to the 1 second and increase the brightness all the way up so you can see it turns all white. And now let's go ahead and set it out to white. 360 is maybe cool. And it's all turning to white right now. As you can see, boom, boom, pow. We have a super awesome layer there. Now let's go ahead and apply a fast blur, because I don't like the actual look of this. So, see how our matte looks. Maybe scale 35. Maybe 40. Let's see how this looks. And maybe a little bit less. Maybe 60. Yeah, it's alright with 40. Let's go ahead and leave it to 40. And let's go ahead and apply a fast blur. Now we applied a fast blur, set it to 20. Or if you want to actually make it more realistic, set it to repeated pixels and 10. Now we have a jumper effect matte. So let's go ahead and leave it like that. Make our matte like that. And after we've done that, we're going to go ahead and flip this on. Go to the stopwatch, so Alt click for the stopwatch and write time right here in the expression times 2000. Now we wrote 2000, and what happens here is that this matte is actually changing. As you can see, it's changing in position and fractal of the noise. And it's a little bit more organic. So let's go ahead and random. So let's go ahead and leave our matte there, go to our main comp, and go to the and leave our matte for later. So there's our matte. Here's our matte right here, as we leave it there. And as we can see, we have a super awesome jumper effect going on here right now. We don't have any effect, but it's disappearing and appearing. So let's move this again. Let's move this appear punch. Let's mask this in. Once again, so it blends with the footage. Mask it out. Now set it to position. And now we see nothing happens. Sorry, an update here, right here. Let's go ahead and cancel for that. Now let's go ahead and we have our super non-changing thingy set to feather. And set it to about 60 or so. As we can see, nothing is being affected right here, because our mask is not affecting anything but our position. So let's go ahead and set it to feather right there, solo this so you can see how it is, and it's actually going to be right like that. so it's nothing's changing. So let's go ahead and do that again. See how this looks. Okay, awesome. Now save our project for security or something. Now let's bring that in our Eclipse comp. Remember our Eclipse comp? Let's go ahead and import that Eclipse comp. Or just go ahead to the Eclipse comp and copy all this. I recommend to copy all this because it's much better. So you can work with it a little bit more cooler, a little bit cooler or something. So let's go ahead and paste that in. Command V and Command C for copy, and then place this in between the appear and the disappear. So let's go ahead and set it to first you disappear, then jump 1 time, then jump 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. So let's go ahead and first set our jump 1 to our first position, which is this one. What we want to do is when we're disappearing right here, we want to set the jump 1 to right there. So let's go ahead and first leave this like this. Shut the eyes off for the jumps, and then go ahead and apply your matte first. Apply your matte to the disappear layer by setting it on top of the disappear layer, and disappear layer you will set it to luma matte right there. So as you can see now, if we drag this in with the matte we have, you can see we're disappearing right there, or appearing. In this case, we want to disappear, so we want to disappear. We're going to set it to luma inverted matte. So it's disappearing right there, and perfect. There it is. Now, what we can see here is we're disappearing. But if we want to make it a little bit less, like the position or maybe the scale of this, we're going to set it to 30, so a bit more organic. So we can see right there, it's appearing already cool enough. So it's awesome. We're just appearing like a jumper effect. A little bit of displacement right there. Look at that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and do that for the second layer, which is this one, which is the appear one. And I'll set this to luma inverted matte. And do the same, maybe luma matte for the appear because it's an appear one. And set to this and right there. Boom, boom, pow. Maybe leave it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and just put this in so it blends a little bit more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, awesome. Now we have our 2 mattes set into time, and we see our jumper effect right there. But it's the first part of the tutorial, so we now see our displacement. Now what is needed is our displacement and everything. So let's go ahead and mask that out. I see a problem here. What you can see here is actually your shadows being affected. So let's go ahead and not see that right there. You cannot see a shadow because no one will ever see that your shadow is needed right there. So that's the trick of editing. So now nothing changes, as you can see. Awesome. That's perfect. Now that is cool. Now let's go ahead and add our displacement. But first, we want to remember the actual jumps right there. We want to set them in time. So let's go ahead and go to the first disappear. 1, 2, 3. And when you start disappearing here, you want to start appearing in the first jump. So let's go ahead and set this to time. Jump 1, 1, and scale this down to about 40, maybe 70, let's say 70, maybe 50, right there. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and color correct this. Just go to curves, set it to curves right there, and set the brightness down, maybe the brightness up a little bit. No, maybe leave it like that. Set the red down, the green down, and the blue a little bit up. Maybe just a pitch right there. So let's go ahead and leave our jump like that, and boom boom pow, now we have our jump. first. Let's set the other one, the second jump, to a little frames besides this one. So let's set it to 60, maybe 65, and maybe let's grab these two layers, set them in time so we can see, so we don't have our instantaneous jump right there. So awesome, we have our two jumps right there. We haven't applied the effect yet, so let's go ahead and do that again. 1, 2, 3, and the third frame or the fourth frame, we want to start adding the second one. So in this case, it's third frame. Now, the third jump, we want to add it again. Let's grab it in. 1, 2, 3, and there it is. So let's go ahead and set it to maybe our fourth jump. Let's make this our fourth jump. I like it better as a fourth jump. And this one, the third one. So let's go ahead and set the scale of this one to about 70 or 75 maybe. Shut this off. 80 would be cool. And as we can see, we have a little bit spill problem right here. We want to go ahead and correct that. Screen mat, clip of blacks. And we no longer have it, so that's okay. Cool stuff. Now for all the screen masks, as we can control the key light here, we want to go ahead and set the softness to 1 and everything, and pre-blur to 1. Now for this second one, 2, softness, pre-blur. Third one, 2, softness, pre-blur, and fourth one, the same. So pre-blur 1, softness 1. And now we have a clean, awesome jumper. Because we want our word to be clean. That's it. Awesome. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and awesome. Now our fourth jump will be this one. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Now let's scale it up to about 120, maybe. Shut the eye in. Maybe let's leave it like that. Let's do it like 100. Boom, boom, pow. And this one to 75. And now as we can see right now, awesome. We have a super awesome jumper disappearing and appearing, whatnot. And then we want to add our 1, 2, 3 thing right here. Awesome, perfect, just perfect. So now we want to add the matte effect to the actual jumps. So let's go ahead and do that. First, let's copy the matte. Paste, set it on top of the first jump, set it to, since we want it to appear, and it's gonna be a complicated process, but you will have to stick with me, please. So let's go ahead and set it to matte, and now we want to place this in time so we can see when we start appearing. Right there. There it is. So boom, boom, pow. It's appearing right there. Awesome. Let's see how this looks without the 3 more jumps. Perfect. That's okay right there. Maybe let's enlarge this. Let's make this bigger. Let's make our clips bigger. So let's not make them 4 frames and that's it. Let's go ahead and increase the length of our clips and then put it about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we would have to put this in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. right there. Awesome. Perfect. Shut the eyes on. So wait till it renders. And let's go ahead and see our effect right here. So cool. Now let's go ahead and apply our matte again. Copy paste on top of the second one, luma matte. Awesome. 2, 3, and boom. Now we'll start seeing this disappear again one more time. So let's go ahead and just not hurry and do this well. Awesome. Scale this third jump a little bit more, maybe 80. Perfect. Now let's apply the matte again. Luma matte. Right there. Perfect. And maybe follow it a little bit along. Awesome. Now for the fourth jump, we're going to do the same thing. Luma matte by pasting the matte again. Start position. Right there. Perfect. Now we can see we have our jumper effect. And that's about it. Now what we're going to do is make this disappear too. So in the jumps we want it to appear and then disappear at the same time. So it's a jumper punch. That's the point. So let's go ahead and pre-compose the first jump. Move files and move all attributes to new composition. Not open new composition. Uncheck this. And let's go ahead and call it jump 1. Then let's go ahead and call this second one jump 2. Then the third one jump 3. And for the fourth one, jump 4. So now we have our jumps, but we have to guess in which point in time we can see them. So yeah, that's about it. You can see them right here. Disappearing, appearing, and disappearing, appearing, disappearing, and appearing, and disappearing. Awesome. So it's cool right there. See our jumps right now. Let me bring this a little bit down in time. Perfect. Let's close this again. Main comp, jump 3. Right there. Awesome. Main comp, jump 2. Right there. Close this 2. Main comp, jump 1. Place this in time in a good place. Awesome. Now so we can see you have a much better looking jumper effect. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and separate this 2 jumps. Maybe just leave it like that. Okay. Okay, now we want to make this disappear. Paste the matte again for the first one. Luma inverted matte this time because we wanted to go ahead and make this disappear. So let's go ahead and go to the first point in time when we jump. Maybe go to the first jump. And let's go ahead and set it to about right here. 1, 2, 3. So it disappears. And I want it to disappear as this one starts, and the second one starts appearing. So let's go ahead and close this in. Boom, right there. We have our jumper effect. Look at that. Awesome, perfect. Let's go ahead and do that for the second one. Paste the mat again. Set it to luma inverted mat. And place it in time. This time it's a little bit more right there. And as we start appearing, awesome, now we see our trajectory. So boom, boom, pow, right there, it starts to disappear, and it starts to appear right here. Place the mat again, on top of the jump 3, luma inverted mat, and right there. Now for the fourth jump, we want to paste the mat again, luma inverted mat, save the project for once, and let's go ahead and see this. Maybe let's go ahead. See how this looks. Right there. Awesome. But we have moved this. So let's go ahead and move it again in time. And boom, boom, pow. This starts to disappear. This starts to appear. So let's go ahead, move this in. Awesome, perfect. Let's move this in a little bit more into time. A little bit more upward position. And let's just leave this like that. Maybe a luma inverted mat. Right there. Awesome. Starts disappearing, start appearing, disappearing. Now it started disappearing. So that's about it. We see our trajectory now. Now, if you want, you can speed this up at the end. So let's go ahead and look at this. Awesome. If you want to remove the fourth jump, you can do it, but I prefer to leave like that. So let's keep this jump four jump right here to about 12 and 10. Set it again. Awesome. Perfect. Let's go ahead and make this a little bit closer. So it's a little bit more quicker. More quick. Save this in. Now let's start our displacement map. This is the best part. I love it. So let's go ahead and create a displacement. New solid, or maybe new comp. Call it displace. And maybe new comp, displace. Now let's go ahead and create a new solid. Make an ellipse. And by creating the ellipse, we are going to go ahead and just applying this. And then make the width to about 80. The height to about 260. Then thickness to 130. And then make this two colors white. And then softness, leave it like that to 50. Composite and original unchecked. And let's go ahead and apply turbulent displace. Turbulent displace will count on this. The amount will be 682. The size will be 9 or maybe 10. And you will go ahead and maybe 9. So let's go ahead and do that. Set to 10. I'm just indecisive. So let's go ahead and animate the evolution to about times, and that is by clicking the stopwatch and writing time in the expression times 2000. Now let's go ahead and see how it looks. Now it looks like a white thingy rotating or maybe changing in fractal noise, but it's actually our mat. So let's go ahead and leave it like that. It's not our mat, it's our displacement map. So let's go ahead and call this displace right there. Go to our main comp and get the displace comp, set it to on top. Displacement, want to drag it in, shut the eye in, and let's go ahead and scale it up to the part where you want to disappear and appear. So got to put it like that, pre-compose, and call it displace 1, which is the, or maybe jump, disappear, displace 1, and set it to the jump to the disappear on top of disappear. Set it to shut the eye off, and create a new adjustment layer. Set it to displacement mat, put it down. Go to disappear displace. Go ahead and disappear this, displace this thingy, or whatever. And let's go ahead and animate this. Top of the mat right there, and let's go ahead and disappear displace adjustment layer displacement 1, and let's go ahead and call this displacement 1, set it to see that, and animate this in time. So 1 start to disappear right there, 1 frame before, 0, 0, so this time stop, 24, maybe right there, 20, and 20 right there, maybe 20, maybe 10 right there. Awesome. Let's go ahead and position this in time. Perfect. Now that we want to fade it out, we want to start by fading it out right there. Awesome. Now we go ahead and do the same for the second one, which is the first jump. Let's go and paste the displacement again. Go ahead and set it on top of the mat. Place it in time. Pre-compose this. Displace jump 1. And shut the eye off. create a new adjustment layer, or just duplicate the other one, copy, paste, and set it to displace jump 1. Now we have our displacement right there, but not animated in the same point in time. So let's go ahead and animate that in the point in time by dragging this to here, right there. Awesome, we've animated that. Perfect. Now for the third one, we want to go ahead and, which is jump 1, and paste that again. Maybe copy the displace jump 1, just copy that, place that again, same mat, call it displacement jump 2, and just go ahead and maybe copy the one who's in this displace, paste it, and paste it on top of the jump 2. Place it in position and time. Now let's go ahead and pre-compose this again. Displace 3. Maybe jump 2. So let's go ahead and shut the eye off. Create a new layer, adjustment layer. Displacement map. Adjustment layer, displace jump 2. Displace it by 15. And maybe 20 or something. Let's go ahead and feed this out. Displacement 3. And yes, call it that way. Let's animate this. 1, 2, 0. $15 and $20. Fade it away. 0. Let's look at this displacement 1 for once. Awesome. Let's go ahead and do that for the fourth one, which is the jump 3. Let's go ahead and paste that again. Place it in time. Recompose it. Displace maybe jump 3, and let's go ahead and create a new adjustment layer. Shut this off. Displacement 4, right there. Just type displacement map. Displacement jump 4, maybe to 15 and 20 again. Set the stopwatch 0, 0, 1, 2, 15 and 20. Fade this away. And once again, for the fourth jump, we're going to do the same thing. Displace, place it in time. And pre-compose it. Call it displace jump 4. And shut it off. Create a new adjustment layer. Place it in time and space. Displacement 5. And go ahead and apply displacement map again. Go ahead and displace jump 15 and 20. Position this in time. Zero, 0, 1, 2, 15 and 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there. Our displacement is gone. So let's go ahead and see this, how this looks. Let's wait for it to render. And that's about it. So our jumper punch is almost, the effect actually is almost finished. What we're going to do now is actually go ahead and apply the last displacement. So let's place this again on top of the mat. Place it in space. Right there. Pre-impose. Just place appear. And shut it off. New adjustment layer. Displacement map. Call it displacement 6. And set to displacement appear. Let's go ahead and set this to 20 and 20. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, maybe 1, 2, 20, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0, 0. Now that's about it, a jumper effect. So let's go ahead and see how this looks. Awesome. Perfect. Now we have a jumper punch. So let's go ahead and apply the final part of this stuff. It's the smoke. The style of every effect. So let's go ahead and play the smoke with our stock footage. So we're gonna go ahead and choose 6 or maybe 5. Or you can't repeat it actually. You can't repeat it. So let's go ahead and choose the first powder hit. Set it to the disappear and set it to on top of the displacement, like between the displacement and the mat, or the displaced thing right there. So place it in time. Set it to right there. Place it in time. Maybe about where you disappear. 1, 2, right there. So 1 frame before that. Place it in time. Set it to add mode. And scale it down. Maybe 50. As you can see, this is starting to look cool, man. Come on, it's awesome. Okay, perfect. Now let's rotate it a little bit so it can be more random. Perfect, and now let's do that again with our final part. But let's grab our third one for the displacement jump 1. Place it in time. Maybe right there. Set it to add mode. Maybe add. And it starts appearing it right there. So let's go ahead and position it in time and space. Scale it 50, maybe 60. And as you can see, it's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and watch that again for our third jump. 1, powder 4, between this right there. Awesome. Let's go ahead and set it in time right there. Scale it to about 80, maybe 75. Set it to add mode. And let's see how this looks. Now this smoke is from the Action Essentials 2 pack, so if you want to use it, you have to buy it. So yeah, that's about it. Now for a fourth jump, we'll start appearing right here. Let's grab our 1 again, so we can repeat those. And rotate it a little bit. Set it in time. Set it to add mode. right there. Scale it down to about 80 or so, maybe 75 or 70, depending on what you want to do. And boom, there it is. Right there. And now what we're going to do is actually go ahead and close this down. Go ahead to the fourth one, select the second one, displacement right there. Okay, awesome. Set it to add mode. If you want, you can set it to screen, everything. You can set everything to screen if you want. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, now this is effect one chase. Set it on top of the maybe right there, and leave it like that. So you can see we have a very cool jumper effect. But now what we're going to do is add the final smoke, which is the fifth one we're going to add. Displace appear. Set to point in time. We may not. Let's not use this one. Let's use the third one. The fifth doesn't have an actual explosion, which is what we want. And let's go ahead and position this where we appear. Now let's go ahead and set it right there. Set it to add mode. And see how that looks. So you can see we have a very cool effect right there. Let's wait till it renders. Now let's see how this looks. Save this. Awesome, this looks perfect. Let's go ahead and look at that. And that's our jumper effect. Now what we want to do is to add the final effect, which is the wiggle of the camera. So as you can see, we shot it in a tripod. And what we want to do is make and simulate the camera moving. Boom, boom, pow, and that's about it. So we want to end this right there. Okay, right there. So I just want to end this composition about right here. Maybe okay, awesome. Let's hit end and trim comp to work area.